Let's face it, liberals are offended by everything.
Right on.
And they have zero sense of humor.
Right on.
Huh?
Right on. It's the party game that pokes fun at political correctness and liberalism run amok.
But making fun of them is hilarious for the rest of us.
So play right on and mock the progressive left and their fake news media counterparts in a variety of categories, such as race hustle, the wussification of America, earth snobs, Islam abomination, Hollywood hypocrites, and campus coddling. Feminism follies and rainbow games, and don't forget, millennial entitlement and many others.
Right on, created by conservatives for conservatives.
Because mocking the left feels so right on.
Give the gift of all year long by going to RightOnGame.com.
That's RightOnGame.com. Use promo code MOJO50 for a 10% discount. That's RightOnGame.com, promo code MOJO50 for 10% off.
And while you're there, check out the new drinking game option.
Warning, microaggressions contained in this box. Millennials and snowflakes will be offended by its contents. Retreating to safe spaces are highly recommended.
RightOnGame.com, promo code MOJO50 for 10% off. RightOnGame.com.
You are about to join Don Neuen, co-host of Cowboy Logic Radio, and Denise Simon, host of the Denise Simon Experience, for a weekly situation report, or SITREP. 18 hours a day, Denise Simon lives her life as an Intel Analyst. 18 hours a day, Don Neuen lives his life in the world of rock and roll. 1 hour each day, Neuen receives a daily SITREP from Simon. Welcome to the Drive Time Situation Report. Fasten your seatbelt. You're now in Don Neuen's car, and he is calling in for his SITREP.
Smello.
What's up, niece?
Hello, Mr. Don Neuen.
How are things in the land of the Drive Time SITREP?
It's pretty rainy and crappy here.
I have clear skies. Well, I don't know if I have clear skies because it's dark out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Drive Time Situation Report. On one end of this Fabu conversation, you have got the stellar, the ever-present, the ever-knowing, the all-knowing, the intelligence guru, Don Neuen. And on the other end of this conversation, you've got Denise Simon.
There you
You
go.
were ready for that one, were you?
You got it. That's about right.
I mean, you kind of had a feeling I was going to introduce you as the big guru, right?
No, you did it right.
If history is indicative of the future, that's what I should have said. But I threw you the big curveball. Hey, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. If this is your first time listening to the Drive Time SITREP, let me explain what's going on here. I am in my personal vehicle driving home after a long day at work. I've called in to Denise Simon, who's on the other end of this conversation, for my nightly SITREP, in which she's going to bring me up to speed on everything I didn't learn today that happened today. And many of you probably spent your day at work or doing things around the house to where you couldn't stay on top of things. We are all fortunate, though, because Denise Simon hunkers down in her bunker in Central Florida, and she gathers all of the intelligence that we need so that when she delivers this to us, we appear to be more knowledgeable than we actually are, which is how I have all of you fooled. It's all Denise Simon. That's where it comes from.
Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of pressure for tonight, Denise. So we're going to timestamp this, ladies and gentlemen. So whenever you listen to this show, you'll know that the information that we're talking about was gathered today. And the reason that I say that is there's a lot of times when Denise gives out information, discusses topics, runs the gambit from military to domestic to international affairs, and she's way ahead of the curve. So we timestamped this just kind of as an ego boost for Denise Simon. Now, timestamp it, and then I'm going to assume that we're going to get. I hope you're going to talk about Cohen. Do you know anything about what happened today with him?
Well, not really, because they didn't really say, but the public hearing comes tomorrow, so.
Yeah, today was closed. Tomorrow's public. Friday's, or I don't know what day it is. It's Tuesday. So Tuesday was closed. Wednesday's going to be open session, and then Thursday's closed again, right?
I think it's 2 days open, but I could be wrong. But I didn't see anybody that was very impressed with what he shared today behind closed doors. But nonetheless, it is 8:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 26th of February in the year of our Lord 2019.
All right, do that one more time, and I'm going to be silk, like is in diamond and silk. So timestamp the show one more time, and I'm going to add the colorization. No, it's not a racist comment about, with the diamond and silk thing. Try it, Denise.
What, 8:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Time.
On the 26th of February.
February. That's right. Mm-hmm.
In the year of our Lord. 2019.
19. Mm-hmm. That's right. Hey, Denise, listen, my dad taught me something very important many years ago. As you know, he's a choral conductor, and so diction is very important in my family, and it stems from my father. Now, and I'm being very serious. This is going to be fascinating for you to learn. When you say the word Lord, in order for it to really, really project and for you to be able to enunciate this properly so the masses can understand what you're saying, you want to put an A on the end of the word Lord. So you want to pronounce it Lorda. Why don't you try that, Denise?
No, thanks. I'll do Lord.
That's very close. You just need just a little bit more of the A. Okay, but you got to put it together. Try it. 1, 2, 3.
Lord.
Try it. You got to try it like me. Lord.
But it's not D-U-H. It's D.
It is. But if you are going to properly enunciate the word Lord, you have to have the on the end. Trust me. I know.
But you're saying D-U-H. I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm saying D-A. I'm not saying.
No, you think you are.
No, because if it was what you're saying, it would be Lord, and that's not what it is. It's Lord, Try it. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Lord.
Very good. Much better. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now you all can practice this on your own. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Vietnam. We're going to talk about Venezuela. We're going to talk about Russia.
I'm gonna put some things out there and what the Democrats are doing overtly, without consequence, from people like you and me and our listeners. Without consequence. Okay. All right, now we had 44 senators that voted against the live birth abortion.
Yes, we did.
Now that ought to be the single largest outrage across this country today, and it's not. It's not. It's outrageous.
I'm pretty pissed off about it. Okay. But you're right. Nobody's beating drums about this.
This ought to be the single biggest outrage we have for the moment. Now, I think today, the governor of Colorado has signed a bill where the electoral college votes for the entire state go to the popular vote.
They're trying, aren't they?
Yes.
Anything they can do to dismantle the Constitution, they want to do. Anything they can do to snuff out a human life, they'd like to do.
the Democrats are scheming right now because I think what do we have on the Supreme Court? 9 justices.
Yeah. 8.5.
They are scheming. They are scheming to stack the court with maybe up to 20 judges of their choosing that would neutralize those that have been put on the court since President Trump. Now think about that. We go from 9 to 20.
What has to take place? Yeah, what has to take place in order for that to happen, though?
I don't know. But does it matter? Just the fact that they would attempt to do that? I mean, why stop at 20? Go to 50.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Nothing is shocking to me anymore.
Me neither.
The Democrat Party tries to do.
But that's me neither. But we're going to have to not be so desensitized anymore. We're going to have to be sensitized to it all, because otherwise we don't hear anything. We don't, our own outrage is gone when you got 44 Democrat senators that voted against live birth abortion.
Here's the deal, Denise, and I'm talking about this every week on Cowboy Logic Radio, and I will do my best to bring it up, to inundate the airwaves with this every time we do a SITREP, and just give me about a minute to squirt this out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are an undecided voter, or if you're planning on voting for the Democrat Party, any candidate of the Democrat Party in 2020, you own every bit of their radical, nutcase,
militant,
inhumane, sick, militant, crazy,
it's militant politics. That's where we are.
You own it. If you vote Democrat, you then are tied to this, and you become one with it. There's no other way around it, except if you end up deciding to not vote Democrat. Because I'm planning on calling out anybody that votes Democrat in 2020 that you own not only these agendas and these crazy, sick policies that these people are coming up with, but you also own the candidates. And Denise, you'll agree with me. Ultimately, the vetting process and the responsibility of who ends up in Washington in either the presidency or in the Congress, be it the House or the Senate, ultimately, it's the responsibility of the American citizens, those that vote. And the thing is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Where we are with this is it's just not the candidate you can vote for that you got to be paying attention to. You got to be paying attention to those like Kamala Harris, who is in California. You got to be paying attention to Dianne Feinstein in California. You got to be paying attention to any of these, or even though they're not in your state or your voting district, because they influence where we go. And so
I agree.
The vetting, the research and the
Denise,
vetting is huge.
Yeah, but Denise, what I just said a minute ago, all of our listeners need to actually take action with that. And you need to hold your friends and your family and your acquaintances and your business associates. You need to hold them accountable if they're going to cast a vote where you live or where you know someone else lives for the Democrat Party. Whoever does it owns it. Now, I know a lot of people that don't want to own this crap that the Democrats are dishing out. They may have voted Democrat in the past, but when you sit down and talk to them, they don't want to own this bizarre stuff, this sick, twisted stuff.
Well, let me throw another one out there, because now the Democrats have reconstituted the mission to pay reparations for slavery and to the American Indians.
Mm-hmm. And what about those of us, at least my family, that was never even in the United States at that time. Am I responsible? Are my people responsible for paying this as well?
Well, I would argue this. We've already been through all kinds of programs that were feeble attempts, maybe good attempts, at easing some of that conflict and that pain and that history. So how many of them did we really have? Shall we go back to where we were when we had the war on poverty and desegregation and, welfare and, all these other kinds of programs? And where did it, and where are we today? They are self-segregating again. There's a war on, there's a war on white people, in case anybody hadn't been paying attention.
Well, and the thing is,
and they keep, you're a racist, I'm a racist, but Donald Trump is the biggest racist. But really what we have here is anti-discrimination. I mean, it's kind of reversed the whole thing. They hate us when they say that we hate them. No. They're they're segregating again. So what we have here is reverse discrimination.
Well, I hear you, but I'll ask it again. My entire family on both sides, my mom and my dad, our families were not here during those times.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you have benefited because of history. That's their point.
Well, so's everybody else that lives here. I'm sick of the victimization crap. All right, keep going. My apologies for interrupting.
And so I'm just putting out there overtly what's going on here with the Democrat candidates. Kamala Harris, the Cory Bookers, Elizabeth Warrens, Kirsten Gillibrands. Wait till you see what is necessarily going to be proposed here for some very aggressive Second Amendment rebuilding, if you will, or unbuilding or destruction.
Yeah.
Now they've done it with the first. Okay. What's very important is a case tomorrow before the Supreme Court. And this particular case deals with a World War I, what is known as a peace cross. And I think that there's about 40 or 50 names on this cross that came from World War I of both colors,
right?
Blacks and the whites. It's in Maryland. It was put up by the wives. It's been there 100 years. And it doesn't say anything about religion. It talks about honor and valor and bravery and courage. That's it. So we have an atheist group.
They want it down. Yep, they want it down.
Because it's so there's your First Amendment. So that's going before the Supreme Court tomorrow. That should be interesting.
How do you think that's going to play out?
Well, I don't know that. I don't know. You think you think you understand the court, and it all depends upon who the Solicitor General is that's defending the cross against this atheist group.
Yeah. Well,
but
hey, again, let's keep beating this drum, Denise. If any of you people know anybody that votes Democrat, they own this crap. They own this sick, twisted behavior.
And when it comes to this, and when it comes to this new Green Deal or this Green New Deal of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that bill, that piece of suggested legislation that is getting all kinds of co-sponsors in both chambers of Congress, it suggests that they can limit the number of children that you have. You can limit and dictate your method of travel, that they can impose taxes on you because you haven't rewired your house and you're not using solar and wind power and you don't have 14 feet worth of insulation in your attic, and because you're emitting CO2. So this is where we are. If you own a cow, you're going to be taxed.
Those damn farting cows, I tell you what, they are quite unsightly. I've got about 60 of them in one of our back pastures that's just sitting out there farting their heads off. Matter of fact, this past weekend, I was going to mosey on out into that pasture and record a bunch of cow farts. And I ended up having other things I had to do.
But let's not forget that some of this has already been imposed, because now they're saying to you that you can't use a plastic straw. They're taxing sugar. What was it that Bloomberg put in Cuomo in New York about anything above an 8-ounce drink, and I mean, they're taking away
liberty,
your choice, your freedom of choice at life.
They're taking away liberty. They're absolutely taking away their liberty.
Think of what they've already done to education. They took out music. They took out art. Took out physical education. They took out shop, mechanics, wood shop, home economics. And we put in sex education and changed up the menus in the cafeteria. So just understand where we have come. And I would say that to any Democrat and any Republican, any conservative, any independent, I challenge you to assess where we have been decade by decade. We're in 2019, so go back and look at 1959, 1969, 1979, 1989, 99, 2009, and today. Just look at where we have come in those increments and see how bad it really is, and how much freedom we've lost, how we have been forced to conform, and how obedient that we've had to be.
All right, hold that thought right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Drive Time SITREP with Denise Simon. My name is Don Neuen. I am barreling down I-20 headed west on my way home. We got to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to pick up right where we left off. You're listening to the Drive Time SITREP.
Check us out on the web at cowboylogic.us.
This is Don Neuen with Cowboy Logic Radio, and I carry my Sig Sauer 9mm every day. It's like a MasterCard. I never leave home without it.
And I'm glad you do, given that you work in Atlanta every day, talking about a rough place to work.
Well, Donna, I would say that most of our beloved Cowboy Logic Radio listeners not only own, but carry their weapons, too. It's just the thing to do nowadays.
So do I, Don. And we need to share with our listeners a fantastic weapons company, Tar River Arms. Oh, and I should mention, they were founded by United States Marine. Enough said, right? Badass-o-matic.
TarRiverArms.com. That's TAR Riverarms.com.
Tar River Arms, America's first virtual gun store, makes it easier and more comfortable than ever to purchase your firearm online. And through 3D interactive experiences, you can even view and inspect that gun you're purchasing.
They even have weekly specials that eliminate shipping and broker fees, Donna. Great guns, great prices, and great service. And remember, Tar River Arms is veteran-owned and operated.
Don, would you expect anything less from a Marine?
No, ma'am.
At TarRiverArms.com, you can search by caliber, manufacturer, and firearm types. Revolvers, semi-automatic pistols, including your SIG-Don, short-barrel rifles, long rifles, shotguns, and NFA silencers. They even have very hard-to-find products such as the H&K MP5. Totally badass.
Tar River Arms have some of the coolest high-end tactical weapons made, all at great prices.
TarRiverArms.com, U.S. Marine owned and operated.
Hoorah!
Hey, gang, did you know that the big cellular companies fund liberal causes and candidates, not Patriot Mobile?
You're correct, Donna. Did you know that the big mobile companies have spent over $100 million to elect liberal candidates? They also fund liberal causes, agendas, and organizations such as Planned Parenthood, not Patriot Mobile.
Here's how it works. You, our beloved Cowboy Logic Radio listeners, pay your cell phone bill every month. Then Big Mobile takes your money and gives millions to liberal candidates who authorize subsidies to provide free cell service, Obama phones, to do-nothings who vote for more liberals so they can keep getting more free stuff that you pay for. Not Patriot Mobile.
So here's how you fight back. Switch to Patriot Mobile with unlimited plans starting as low as $20 a month and stop funding the big cellular companies.
Feel good about funding the right agendas. Every dollar you spend makes a statement. What message are you sending?
And it's easy to switch. You can even keep your same number, and they've got great nationwide coverage that includes Double D Ranch.
Visit them online at patriotmobile.com or call them at 1-800-A-PATRIOT.
And for any of the guilt-ridden liberals, that's 1-800-272-8746.
Created by conservatives for conservatives. Their name says it all. Patriot Mobile. Do it now. patriotmobile.com or 1-800-A-PATRIOT.
Ladies and gentlemen, what message are you sending?
Welcome back to the Drive Time SITREP, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Don Neuen. You've got on the other end of this conversation the stellar Denise Simon. I encourage you all to go to her website, founderscode.com. You can follow all of her great work. You can subscribe by email and get her postings sent to you in your email inbox, founderscode.com. You can also check out her great work at politicalvanguard.com. That's Tom Del Baccaro's website, and that's a stellar site in itself. Now, before we had to go to the break, we were talking about all of the liberties that we have lost at the hands pretty much exclusively of the Democrat Party. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anybody that votes for a Democrat in 2020, you need to call them out on it. You need to let them know that they own all this sick, twisted crap that the Democrats are trying to shove down our throats to eliminate the amount of liberty we all have enjoyed most of our lives. Denise, where do you want to pick up with this?
Well, let's talk about a few of the issues that the Democrats never mention, which I think are scandals into themselves. Do we ever hear them talk about human trafficking and how we need to stop it?
Nope.
We just had a fairly sizable prostitution bust that just happened down here in Florida, of which Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, was implicated in, among at least 200 more. Now, I don't have a problem if Robert Kraft, who is a widower, wants to go get a massage or go hire a prostitute. I don't have a problem with that. But this cat needed to be a little bit more circumspect and selective about his prostitution afflictions here, because this one particular place that he went to 2 days in a row and showed up in his limousine happened to be a place where Chinese women are virtually trafficked into the United States under false promises of being able to live here with some freedom forever. But that's not the case at all. They became virtual slaves, sex slaves. They were not allowed to leave this place at all. They had to sleep on the very tables where they were giving these services. And in order to eat, they had these walks in, some kind of cooking vessel outside in the back of the parking lot. They couldn't leave.
Sounds like one of R. Kelly's setups.
So the point being, have you heard anybody in the Democrat Party talk about the fact that these girls were exploited, that they were humanly trafficked here into the United States and essentially kept there against their will?
No, you won't. All you're going to hear is how
And you know how the case actually broke open?
No.
Is because there was a building inspector that actually called the police with a tip.
You got to love the building inspectors.
8 months that this investigation was going on, and it isn't just this one location. It just happened to be this one location because that's where Bob Kraft went in his limo.
Where's the head of the fish on this?
Well, we don't necessarily know all that yet, but there have been 25 actual warrants. We had a former golf pro that left the tour. We had a CEO, I think, of Citibank, or a former CEO of Citibank. I mean, there's some big names in here. And it's hardly over yet. But the interesting thing is, too, that I believe that this program, this mission, this operation by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and local law enforcement was also as a result of the sting, the prostitution sting that happened in Atlanta during the Super Bowl. Because where is the 2020 Super Bowl? Miami.
Gotcha.
So we're cleaning that mess up. But again, where are the Democrats? Where's the Democrats on the outrage of little Jussie Smollett? Okay, let's keep going. Have any of the Democrats talked about the war crimes by Bashar al-Assad? Have any of the Democrats talked about the Kremlin under the, let's say, demand of Vladimir Putin that he actually be investigated for poisoning people in Britain? Haven't heard a word. Have you heard any of the Democrats ask that or make the demands that some of these drug cartels, especially the Sinaloa after the El Chapo case in New York was completed and he was found guilty, have you heard any of the Democrats that say that the Sinaloas or the La Zetas or any of the others be classified as terror organizations? Because they are.
No, they can't. You can't even refer to them as animals.
Have you heard any of the Democrats talk about how many universities and even into our public education system that these universities have been getting millions and in some cases billions of dollars from foreign governments that are rogue governments that don't like us, including Islamic countries and China?
All right, well, let me stop you there because in an attempt to be as objective as I can be, despite my nauseated feelings of the Democrat Party and Democrats in general, are Republicans speaking out on this stuff that you've just mentioned?
They were doing all of that work at the committee level, and I have to tell you that Ted Cruz and Senator Rubio deserve trophies, especially Rubio today, because this cat is fighting so hard on the matter of Venezuela and what is going on there. And in fact, I would invite any of you, if you happen to be on Twitter, is run on over to Marco Rubio's Twitter feed. It is amazing stuff that he's putting out. I gotta tell you, he and Cruz were the two senators that were yelling and screaming about how China, under the Confucius Institute, is influencing our selected universities like the Harvards and the UCLAs and the Stanfords and the George Washington University. You see what I'm saying? So they are doing the work. But where's the Democrats? Not a word. Have you heard Adam Schiff or Chris Coons? Have you had either one of them speak to the fact that Hillary had conspired, not colluded, but conspired to put a Russian organization called Skolkovo in Silicon Valley? Now, let's not forget that her best friend, long-term best friend, campaign director, John Podesta of WikiLeaks email fame, was on the board of Skolkovo. Has a Democrat even mentioned that?
Well, of course they're not. There's no way a Democrat will mention that. They'll do everything they can to squash it. My question is, do you think that it will be exposed and investigated? Because all we've been tolerating for the past 2+ years is the investigation of Trump. And Democrats are walking around with free rein, doing whatever they want to do, behaving however they want to behave, without any investigation or repercussion, at least that I'm aware of. Now, Mr. Salt Lake City might be doing something, but I haven't heard from him in who knows how long.
Nobody has, Mr. Jonathan Huber.
Yeah.
Nobody has.
What the hell is he doing? What is he doing?
I don't know. Since we haven't heard from him, nobody knows.
Well, how about let's find out? Come in and tap him on
I'm
the shoulder and say,
all for
hey,
it.
buddy, you still coming into work?
I'm all for it.
You know, many of us are result driven. And I just don't see any results, quite frankly, coming out of the Beltway or anything that's attached to it, be it Salt Lake City or any place else, other than impeach 45. Hey, unrelated. Are you warm and fuzzy with the Barr appointment as AG?
I have to be.
No, you don't. When's the last time you had to be anything?
Well, one of his best friends is Robert Mueller.
Yeah, I get it. They vacation, go to Bible study together with the wives, whatever. But, what's your vibe on this guy? Is this guy going to follow the rule of law and take no prisoners?
I think he will clearly follow the rule of law, but I think he's going to weave his way genteelly around key people. I don't think that he's necessarily going to be a Dick Cheney and really go after some heavy hitters.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of, and let's just take this SITREP. Some of the stuff that you've been talking about, don't you think it's about time to grab the bull by the balls and
I do.
start handling this stuff?
I absolutely do. In fact, I have a buddy who is a lawyer. He's former CIA, as a weapons of mass destruction expert at the CIA. And he and I have had a lot of offline conversations. And one of them is, and I keep saying this, Trump has an awful lot of arrows in his quiver that he needs to rack. What's the deal?
Saying it. We've been talking about it for months.
Well, every bit of that come to July, it'll be 2 years that I made my list.
Yeah.
And it's like, if under Pelosi today, the House voted to stop his national emergency declaration executive order.
Yeah,
okay?
I saw that.
All right. Well, and I just went through several other things that the Democrats are getting ready to do, with, stacking the Supreme Court and take down, World War One memorial and the Electoral College thing and reparations and all that. Okay. So where are the countermeasures? I mean, I'm ready for somebody in this administration. It was clearly not a problem for the Obama administration.
No.
Let's start yanking those arrows out of the quiver. Let's start declassifying some documents. Let's start exposing what really happened in the Iranian nuclear deal and those side deals. Let's start declassifying Susan Rice and how the whole.
What are they waiting for? What are they waiting for, in your opinion?
I don't know. And I've often said that timing is everything, but timing is here. We should be using what I call the drip method. Kind of like an irrigation system.
Yeah, I know.
Every 2 weeks, let's drop something. I mean, when
so far we've seen nothing. And
nothing.
And I agree with you. In politics, timing is everything. And Trump very well may be waiting for this Mueller investigation to get in the hands of the AG, and then we're going to see an annihilation of declassification, and bombs are going to be dropped all over the place. But you know what? As important as timing is everything, running out of timing is even more important.
Some of these things that Trump can do would be in spite of whatever Mueller is doing. I mean, why have we not gone after Javier Becerra and Debbie Wasserman Schultz over the Pakistani IT deal?
Got me. I felt nauseous when that ruling was handed down. I mean, here's the thing. You talking about having a bunch of ammo. He's got an unlimited supply of ammo when it comes to the Democrat Party. Unlimited. Then you can dig into just the Obama administration and all of the deviants that were running around those 8 years. But how much of this do you think has been sealed? I can't remember off the top of my head what you called it, an executive
presidential finding.
Presidential finding. How much do you think is sealed under a presidential finding that Trump can look at but just can't do much about?
Well, we do know that there are several things that happened under the Obama administration that were literally taken and stored in Chicago that were necessarily going into the Obama Presidential Library, which, by the way, got stopped in court last week.
I saw
which
that.
I loved. I got to write an article about that one. But here's the deal. We had the House Oversight Committee that had to say we couldn't get these documents because Obama took them. Subpoena those documents.
Is that a legal move that he made?
It's way above my pay grade. But you know what? If he took them, then Trump needs to come out there and say, hey, this stuff, it belongs to government, not to Obama. It needs to be in the National Archives. We need to be able to see this.
When will it be done? What do you think he's waiting on, Denise?
I'm not sure that anybody's had the discussion with him. Somebody give me a hot.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. Here's the deal. Have you ever run over to the House Oversight Government Reform Committee website and said, let's see what it is that, under Darrell Issa or under Trey Gowdy and now Elijah Cummings, what are they investigating over there?
All right, well, hold on. The answer to that question that you just asked, if I'm the one that's going to answer it, is no. So share with the listeners.
Don't bother. It's not there.
Well, okay, so it's a waste of time then, right?
But here's the deal. Well, it is. But here's the deal. That it's a particular part of the House, the People's House. This is the work that they're doing, but why can't we know what it is? How many cases are they investigating? Did they have the Pakistani IT thing going on in the House Oversight Government Reform Committee review? Who knows?
Well, do me a favor. Drop a dime and call up and ask somebody why we can't see that. And see what they say. And let's talk about it next week.
I have done that.
Okay, what do they say?
You don't get anybody who answers the phone.
You don't even get an answer?
No.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. Well, let's do something real quick here, Denise. Hang on. Let me see how much time we got. About 6 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to give you a public service announcement first.
All right. Well, then I got something I need to ask you.
Okay. Another public service announcement to you and to the listeners. I would advise everybody pay attention to all social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. And start paying attention to how many people are being censored. Now, we went through a fairly sizable one a couple of months ago where people got just yanked completely off of Facebook. And so I'm going to tell you that under pressure from the Democrats, you're going to see a huge attack on the First Amendment, and you're going to see a lot more people being censored or shadow banned, as they like to call it, going into 2020. They're practicing.
Don't doubt that at all.
They're
Have
practicing.
already seen it.
I think that is just, the deck chair off the Titanic. I think much more is coming. That's my public service announcement.
Well, thank you. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not feeling warm and fuzzy after this SITREP. How about you?
I got to put it out there.
I know you do, and we're grateful for it. It's always nice to get the good nuggets, and lately we haven't been getting too many of them. Denise, share with us. You've got the Denise Simon Experience, your own radio show that you do every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. On whatever you're listening to this on, you probably catch it at 9 p.m. Sometimes it's at 10 p.m. I think it's 10 p.m. on Mojo 50. But at any rate, who do you have coming up this week? Who are your guests?
Well, let's see. I think I had Sam Faddis. We were talking about the arrows in the quiver. I talked to Rachel Bovard, who's my friend that runs up and down all the hallways of the Hill in Congress, talking about where we're going here with immigration reform and the border and the money and this stupid funding bill that Trump signed. Then I had Monty Granger, who was in charge. He was a Army captain, retired as a major, that was in Guantanamo, head of the healthcare side. They wrote a book, Saving Grace at Guantanamo Bay, and fascinating conversation with him because no sooner did I do that interview that the very next day we started talking about what are we going to do with all these Islamic State prisoners? Because the Kurds are holding over 1,000. We in the United States are holding about 800. The Brits won't take any of them back. Several of these other countries won't take any of them back. In fact, the Brits have actually apparently offered the United States that they would pay us to house them at Guantanamo. So we don't have a place to put these people. And the CIA is working diligently going through each person by person by person to get their background to see if they belong someplace like Guantanamo. And then I had Matt O'Brien, who's the director of research from the Federal Federation for American Immigration Reform, otherwise known as FAIR.
FAIR, yeah. That's a good lineup. That's a real good lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, check that out on Thursday night, 9 p.m. It's the Denise Simon Experience. It's a fabulous show. It's all interview-based, and it's very quick-paced. It's a great show. All right, we got about 2 minutes. Can you give me about a minute and a half of what's going on either down in Venezuela or in Vietnam with what you think these talks with Kim Jong-un are going to be about?
Well, it was quite fascinating. I'll talk about Kim Jong-un and Trump here for a second, because I went over to my archives, the National Archives, and I decided to start poking around on how long we have been dealing with North Korea and their nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. And shall I tell you that I came across some documents going back to 1991 and 1992 and how they were developing nuclear weapons then. And what the plan of actions have been then in 1991 and 1992 and where we are today. It's virtually the same piece of paper. It's virtually the same thing. So for the Democrats and the mainstream media to already be I would say whitewashing or slamming Trump that he's going to be giving away too much in order to get a deal with Kim Jong-un, I would say hold on here, because we've been at this 25 to 30 years with nuclear weapons, and it all centered around who? China. Yeah. Same place, same exact place. And at the time, we had people like Dick Cheney at the Defense Department. You see what I'm saying? We had the military that was saying, hey, we want you to be hard, but don't be too hard on North Korea. Hey, we had the State Department saying that. So we have all of these influences, but we're in the exact same place 30 years later.
Life is like a stationary exercise bike.
When it comes to government,
nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. We sure do appreciate the fact that you listen to the Drive Time SITREP. Tell your friends and family about it. Denise and I do this for you. Denise, you got to take it home, girl.
Thanks for listening, and God bless America.
Out on the web at cowboylogic.us.
Hey, Donna, Cowboy Logic Radio listeners love law enforcement.
That's right, Don. And Charity Magnets designs and produces beautiful, high-quality products for law enforcement supporters and enthusiasts.
They've got very impressive honor badge car magnets.
CharityMagnets.com.
They've got license plate honor badges.
CharityMagnets.com.
They've got cool keychains and license plate frames.
CharityMagnets.com. I'm on their website right now, and this is my favorite, the Honor Badge dog tag. Look at that little doggy with the dog tag. He's so cute.
Donna, we're trying to do an ad read, and you're playing around on their website, which happens to be CharityMagnets.com.
But he's so cute.
Donna.
Okay. Hey, this is huge, too. For each sale, a donation will be made to Cops for Kids with Cancer. Cops for Kids with Cancer has given more than $2.5 million in donations. Yes.
Become a Blue Honor Foundation member today. Like Donna is doing right now, go to CharityMagnets.com.
But he's so cute. All right, use the promo code MOJO for $5 off any purchase. I know you all love and support our brave law enforcement professionals and their families. Show your support today by going to CharityMagnets.com and check out that little puppy. He's so cute. Hey, Don, can we go to the pound, get another rescue dog, please? Pretty
No,
please?
Donna, no. 5 rescue dogs are enough, but I'm going to CharityMagnets.com, and I'm making some purchases right now.
Become a Blue Honor Foundation member today. Enter MOJO at checkout and get $5 off. CharityMagnets.com.